Hello and welcome to episode 45 of the Nerds at Large Gaming Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Darby Holland.
I am Jeff Mayo.
And we have a very exciting show today. We're obviously going to go through all the video game news. But, Jeff, there is a certain Nintendo console that's about to turn 1 year old.
Yes.
Or already did.
Today is the anniversary of the day we're recording.
Happy birthday, Switch. Happy birthday, Nintendo Switch.
We have two Switches here. We don't have them over here to show off.
I can go get it and show it off here. Jeff, you entertain the people. I'll go get the Switch.
Okay, so yeah. We've briefly mentioned this like on multiple podcasts kind of the last couple months that we wanted to do the 22 like a little year in a review as the main topic. But, of course, yeah, like Darcy said, we're going to go over the video game news and I have some games to talk about that I played. So
3 of them.
Yes. Well, 2 in a demo.
Close enough. The Switch, 1 year. I remember when this was like a weird concept that we had no clue.
Yeah. All the rumors of the NX leading up to it and the fake
yeah, and that what was that weird oval thing?
Yeah, like that was
someone actually made like a plastic mold.
Yeah, and people thought it was real.
The story leading up to this.
Strangely enough, that was when I was completely sold on. It's like that looks a little too weird and not completely like the stuff we've seen.
But it was just it was one of those things. Like back then, we were young and didn't realize how far people would go to fake things, and we're like, oh, people wouldn't go that far. They wouldn't make an actual mold of something. It's like, yeah, they will.
I mean, it's not the exact same thing, but people for Smash Bros. Made an actual model of characters. Model that makes sense.
They end up making a game just to make a fake.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't put it past some people. But, Jeff, how you doing?
Pretty good. Spring break, Darby.
Happy spring break, Jeff.
For me.
For Jeff. God, that's so annoying.
Yeah, I guess people don't know. Normally, me and Darby and all our friends have the same spring break because they all go to USC, so of course they have the same spring break. I'm the odd man out. We always have the same spring break.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they have it a week later.
I think we started a week late for some reason. It was the eclipse or something, or there was something that we changed our schedule for last semester and it messed up the entire thing. I don't remember. So I think it's our fault.
It is your fault. Because this is the exact same week because it's a year for the Switch. I got the Switch to start my spring break.
Okay, yeah. Yep. It's our fault.
Yep, your fault.
All USC's fault.
It is.
Sorry. Jeff, what you been playing this week?
Okay, so we'll start with a small one.
Okay.
I played the Kirby Star Allies demo.
Right.
I had to make a European account to get it. I don't know if it's the US version yet. It's I'm probably going to end up doing this anyway, and it's easy to do.
Jeff always knows how to go to the trouble. You make Japanese accounts or European accounts.
I just Googled it.
I'm one of the people, as soon as I see that, I'm I'll do it later because I'm lazy.
Yeah. It's really introduced now. I got a UK, Japan, and US account to get stuff
there's some alter ego Englishman that's Jeff Mayo, and then a Japan person that's Jeff Mayo. How is it?
Pretty fun. Yeah. It's, I guess if people know, Kirby's an easy game. The demo is definitely easy.
Most Kirby games are, yes.
Yeah, especially, this is the demo, so it's going to be the easy stuff. It starts what I assume is the first level. Yes, it has 2 levels. One they label as easy, and the other one they label as hard. They're both pretty easy. The harder one is harder.
Yeah.
It has some more stuff going on. But yeah, really easy in general. Very fun, just a delightful little game. Mixing powers are fun. Absorbing things are fun.
Yeah.
Is
it? I mean, so does it feel like something new with Kirby, or does it kind of just feel like Kirby with an extra layer of paint?
Yeah. I mean, the whole reason I'm even considering getting it is because I haven't played a Kirby game in a long time, so it's more fresh for me. But
right.
I can imagine people who've been playing the Kirby games recently may not be as stoked for this game, understandably.
Right.
But one. I guess it's just partly because Sakurai was responsible for both, but I kept on playing it with Smash Bros. And pressing the wrong buttons.
Also, just the camera angle and the 3D models and stuff, it does kind of look like it would be.
Yeah, and especially since, while it's been a while, this looks better, but it kind of reminds you of Subspace Mercy.
Okay.
The Brawl single player in a way, just the way it's formatted, but obviously
probably feels better than the.
I was saying that's definitely better, but
right.
But it kind of feels like, so I think Smash Bros. So that was one thing I had to remember. I kept on wanting to attack, but I kept on getting rid of my powers or loading up the bar to get rid of them.
Right.
Yeah. Luckily, you don't press one button and they're gone. You gotta hold a meter. But
so, where are you at in this game?
I'm probably not gonna get this thing right away,
Okay.
just because. For one thing, it's $60.
I would have assumed this was like 40 or something.
That's what I was like thinking / hoping. And I got plenty of other stuff. I got some more games like up to this point than I was planning on, especially with the VR sale and everything.
Yeah.
And we got A Way Out coming out this month, which is a higher priority. And we got God of War next month. And with school and everything, I can wait on Kirby.
Yeah.
I want to get it at some point because it's a fun little thing.
Yeah.
Potentially. But
and,
I'll probably wait
the
for a sale.
Multiplayer thing could be fun, with that.
Yeah. And also in this demo, you fight a couple boss fights. You fight Wispy Woods, the little tree that's like on the Kirby stages. That thing was very easy. And I fought Swoldity.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
He is pretty swole.
Yeah.
He has some nice abs.
He does.
Yeah.
I won't... See, whenever we get a new Smash Bros., and we're going to talk about... what I'm probably going to bring up is changing people's moveset. I want Swoldity as the final Smash now.
Oh, that would be
as
great.
deities, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer.
So, that's all I have to say about Kirby, really.
Okay.
Especially in the second time. It's fun. Definitely try it out if you're interested. Again, it's easy, but...
It's probably one of those things, if you like Kirby, cool, this will be for you.
Yeah.
If you don't like Kirby, this is not going to change your mind.
Yeah, that seems to be the consensus on Resetera. People are like, who don't know much about Kirby, were complaining about Kirby-isms.
Right.
And, yeah.
Yeah.
Not really thing. This may not be for you, which is fine.
Yep.
Now, we're ending on a positive note, but we got to go through some
go through the mud. Drag us through the mud, Jeff. It's okay.
Okay, next two games, VR games.
Okay.
First one, The Impatient.
So, Jeff.
So, Darby.
I think last time you talked about The Impatient, you were like 30 minutes into it or something.
I was like 10.
Okay. Have you finished it now?
Oh, yeah. Finished in one sitting.
How bad?
I wouldn't say like playing out bad. It's just painfully mediocre.
Right.
And
compared to what we might expect from
an Until Dawn prequel.
What? Supermassive, right? Or
Yeah,
Supermassive. I always forget their name.
Oh, by the way, I'm just going to say this just because, well, for one thing, I don't expect many people who listen to this have PlayStation VR.
Right.
And I was going to be honest, I cannot recommend this game.
Yes.
Especially at $40.
Yeah.
It's 2 hours long or something. Yes, they expect you to replay it, but I don't feel like it.
And you didn't enjoy the experience.
Luckily, I got it for $20. So.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be very liberal with spoilers.
So if you care about impatient spoilers, then I guess duck out. But we are warning you that this game is not worth playing anyway, right? Yeah. So yeah. There we go.
Probably not,
Spoil.
If you get it for cheap and really into Until Dawn, there's some cool stuff in there, but overall, yeah. Okay, so I guess I'll give the basic, just one complaint out of the way. The controls are crap.
That sucks.
I will say this, it could potentially be because of the way I have set my, VR space set up, since I kind of unhook it and stuff. At this point, I'm not, trying to get it as perfect as much.
Yeah, you're probably a lot more portable with your system than most people are.
Yeah, so that could be part of it. But, then I read other people having the same problems. So I'm like, okay, it's probably not my setup. Right. So you can play with the controller or you can do it with move controllers. Mm-hmm. When you move hands around and pick stuff up, I like doing it with the move controllers.
Yeah.
But they're very wonky and everything and moving where I didn't want them to do, and it is a pain in the ass to pick things up.
That sucks.
So that that messes some things up. But if it was just that, I wouldn't have that much of a problem with.
Yeah.
That was the only problem. It just adds on things. So,
that's a big deal. The immersion with being able to pick things up. Like, I can, even from the demos I've played, I can tell, Job Simulator, it's, responsive. I pick things up, I throw them, I feel like everything's working out.
And super hot.
So excited to play that.
Yeah.
But
super hot's not perfect, but yeah.
And when it doesn't, and especially when it's trying to tell you a story and stuff, it can mess with the immersion and mess with your head.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of go through the story and say my things. Okay, you begin you're strapped to a chair.
Right.
Old man, Dr. Bragg, I think that's his name. Briggs, something like that.
Dr. Bragg.
Yeah, that old man that's in the trailers or whatever. He's asking if you remember or whatever, giving you some shock therapy. Okay. And I mean, that's fine. That's a fine enough setup because you have amnesia and everything.
Sounds like mental hospital tropes and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
going in here. Yeah.
Then they get taken back to your cell. You roll around in a chair for a while. Like, you're strapped in and an orderly's pushing you if you're talking to you. That lasts a little while. You get stuck in your cell and you're with Gordon. Or someone, your roommate.
Ramsey, right?
Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay. Yeah.
And I picked a guy. If it was a female, it would have been a female roommate with a different name, I guess. You're in there a long time. You're stuck in that room for a while. You're having dreams throughout.
It's a 2-hour game, right?
Yeah.
So anytime I hear you're somewhere a long time, I'm wondering how long are you there? But
probably felt longer than it was.
Yeah, probably.
So throughout you have weird dreams, which were kind of cool to like kind of you're walking through like a dream, like messed up version of the asylum, and there's some, pretty cool jump scares and everything, which were fine and everything, but not really much jump scares in front of that, and looking back on it, I don't see a purpose in those, story-wise.
Just jump scares and jump scares.
Yeah. And then at some point, something's going on the outside, but we're locked in our room because, we're supposed to be crazy people.
Right.
And it sounds like people are getting killed out there or something. People going crazy. This is until dawn people, so you probably have an idea what I'm talking about might be going on.
Right.
So we get stuck in there. No doctors are coming. The character, me and Gordon, are starving or whatever. Then at some point, I wake up for something, and Gordon has a cockroach. It's like, they're in there for like a week or two without food, so eat whatever they can find.
So he's eating the cockroach.
That's fine. So you have a choice. Do you want to eat it, or not?
Or do you want to eat Gordon?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
So, yeah, you said, do you eat it? So, like, he's offering it to you. Do you eat it, or do you say you go ahead and eat it? I picked eat it because, like, okay, he's offering it to me. Blah blah blah. So I eat the cockroach. Have more crazy dreams. Wake up. Gordon's gone. The door's busted.
Can I stop you? How did eating a cockroach in VR feel?
I think the character was a little sick.
Okay.
But yeah, roommate disappears, and the orderlies and nurses that I've met up to that point are gone. Never to be seen again. I think you have an idea what happens to them.
Probably.
But it's not really explained well. But okay. The door's open. I leave. I walk around the asylum a lot.
Lots of walking.
Lots of walking. I found a friend named David, another orderly.
Okay.
Pretty chill dude. Tell him, like, I don't know what's going on, man, whatever. He's like, wait, you haven't seen the monsters or anything? Like, no. Like, okay. So, it's like, okay, well, obviously I know what these are at this point.
Yeah.
So, follow him. He takes us to the old man doctor dude and the nurse. Or some other nurse apparently a lot of these characters are in Hidden Agenda, but the nurse is played by the girl who plays the lawyer.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, that's neat.
Huh.
So you have a thing, or like the doctor won't. We're trying to leave, but the old man doctor dude's like, no, I want to stay. Blah blah blah. I have a choice to, leave him behind, like do what he wants, or like demand him. I guess like that he goes with us. It's like, I'll let him do what he wants. He hates me anyway.
Get out of here, doctor dude.
It's like, you can stay if you want, and then. Apparently that just means he dies. Never to be heard of again.
Cool.
So that happens. Okay, so now we get to the point we're going outside after we walk for a while longer.
Okay.
Your mother outside and lead to a church or whatever, and then the window goes are everywhere. So we're taking turns going across. Now this is the coolest part of the game, Darby.
Okay.
You go outside or whatever, you're walking, and then the window goes coming, and of course at that point they know not to move.
Right. Yeah.
So the window you get little things like don't move. So
that's cool.
You literally do, like, I'm scared, like, okay, my hands count or just my head, so I literally don't move, and the window goes jumping around, like, right in front of me. I see him out of the corner of my eye.
That's cool.
That's literally the only time in the game it happens.
And yeah, if you haven't played Until Dawn, there's, like, sections of Until Dawn where you have to, like, sit still with the controller. It's this don't move thing. And as soon as I knew there was going to be a VR game set in the Until Dawn universe, I was like, oh, that's going to be awesome. They do that. But
it only happens
once. in a full price.
Unless there's another choice that leads to another thing, but I'm gonna be honest. I looked at the like other stuff that could happen afterwards because like I'm not gonna play.
And is that like towards the end of this, or just?
Yeah, kind of. Then you go to the church, you meet the priest named Ted. Then the police get there and they start shooting up everyone because they want to contain the Wendigo stuff because they don't know who's a Wendigo and who's not.
Right.
And they may not know how they're created.
Yeah.
So we're trying to escape from there. Then throughout this, I'm having blackouts or whatever. And then at some points in there, I'm having Wendigo vision. So it's like, okay, so apparently I became a Wendigo at some point.
Okay.
Apparently, I looked it up. That cockroach, I was delusional, was actually human flesh.
Nice.
I'm like, that's dumb. Like, there was no indication that was a thing. Like, it was just, and then at the end thing with the, the butterfly effect, at the choice, the title of it was Gave Into Temptation, which I guess I did. I ate a cockroach. But it's like...
But it didn't show you anything.
Like... There's no indication of me becoming a Wendigo, and apparently I ate the roommate.
Okay.
I didn't know any of this.
It seems like a weird twist for there was no basis for it, yeah.
Yeah, and apparently if you didn't eat the cockroach like him, then the roommate would be the Wendigo.
Okay.
So
it basically just sounds like there's a lot of setup for one good moment.
There's more dumb stuff there.
One good gameplay moment.
There's more stuff like, okay, I mean, part of this could be my fault. You collect memories and stuff full out. Like, so, since you have amnesia, you interact with stuff, then you have memories fill in.
Yeah.
Like, literally the very last memory that I pick up, apparently, I find out I'm a journalist who got in there to write about how messed up this asylum is. Literally, the last, 5 minutes of the game, I find out I'm a journalist. I guess I picked the wrong memories or something leading up to that point.
Okay.
But it's like... Well, this didn't do anything for me right now. I'm at the end of the game.
That's weird.
Yeah, and we go to a cable car at some point to escape or whatever, and the other people find out that I'm a Wendigo. And
wait, they can't see that you're a Wendigo?
I mean, I'm not completely a Wendigo.
Okay.
Like I'm transforming. Yeah,
you're in your adolescent Wendigo phase.
Yeah. So I get a choice pretty much. Okay. Because the way the cable car works, someone's got to press the button to make it go, so if someone has to stay behind, I get the choice of, okay, do I screw these people over, or do I just do the sacrifice? Like, I'll just sacrifice myself, whatever. Because I played the nice guy up to that point. So I did it, and the game just abruptly ends. Like, wait, that was it. Okay.
Cool.
Okay, now I will say this. There's one other awesome scene that only happened because the ending I got. Post-credit scene. You're in the mountains or whatever. You see the Washington girls. So you're the Wendigo that attacks them. I was like, okay, that's neat. But it doesn't really change much of anything about this.
It doesn't.
Now, I will say this about this. The reason this game's not good is because of, mainly the story stuff and some of that stuff. And kind of the wonky motion controls that could be fixed. I still want more games like this in VR.
Yeah.
The idea of this was still cool.
Okay.
It can work. Like, this doesn't make me not want these games more. It
wasn't bad on just a general concept level. It was just
executed
poorly.
Yes.
And the biggest thing, I mean, honestly, just from the outside looking in, the biggest thing of all this is that this sounds like a $15 Until Dawn add-on thing or something. Like, you want to know more of the story, or $20 add-on thing. This does not sound like a $40 this is Supermassive's next big game or whatever set in the Until Dawn universe. This just sounds like a short little build-up thing that adds in more of the questions of Until Dawn. I mean, is that
yeah, it has some cool ideas, but execution could be a lot better. And yes, it does. I guess there are more deviations with the choices. Even some I didn't mention.
Right.
But I don't think they were done that well. It's like it kind of just happened. And some of it's I guess in a way, depending on how you look at the positive, but I didn't even know I kind of made a choice. Me eating a cockroach coming out, me deciding to eat a cockroach because I'm hungry and becoming a Wendigo. Okay.
I hate it when there's twists, when a good twist is one that it's oh, I should have seen that coming.
Yeah.
Oh, if I had pieced it together, I could have gotten that. Not just oh, this is only surprising because there's literally no way you could have figured it out because it's just so random. Yeah. I don't like that.
I kind of thought that what would have been cool is, I guess we'll go back to this. I was having the Wendigo flashback maybe a little earlier and stuff. Wendigo vision a little before I said that. Yeah. And they kept on mentioning the miners that were referenced in Until Dawn. So I thought I was a miner that was had amnesia, and they made it clear like the miners were the Wendigos in the beginning, like throughout this game.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's not bad.
That's probably, yeah.
But then it turned out I'm a journalist.
Yeah.
And I did it from eating what I thought was a cockroach.
Also, weren't you a journalist in Outlast or whatever?
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, impatient. Not great. Not worth the money.
You know what is great and worth the money, though?
What is great and worth the money?
Moss. Just came out. I'm always happy when I talk about a game before Kind of Funny releases.
I just call it a rat. Little adorable mouse.
Yep. Quill is adorable. She is great.
So, this is third-person VR game. Third-person puzzle-based, right?
Yeah, kind of action-y. Yeah. The way it works, like, like, what you are, like, looking into this world, you are, like, a ghost thing, and you're known as the reader in the world. Like, you're literally, like, reading a book.
Okay.
Reading Quill's story, and some things that I think are really cool. Like, the world's, like... I was actually, like, surprised at how good stuff looked in this world, like, you know, in VR and anything. I mean, some of it was more basic, but it still looked, in my opinion, very good, especially compared to other VR stuff that I played.
Yeah.
And like the way the story's told, it's like you're reading a book, and the narrator, is a girl. She kind of, you know, explains some stuff, and whenever a character talks, the narrator is voicing the character like it's like someone reading the book to you, like doing little voices to separate them. Like Quill has like more of the narrator's normal voice, but Quill's uncle, she has more like a little gruff voice or whatever going on. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Also, something really cool with that is whenever you go to the next section, when it goes to black, you hear a page turning sound.
That's cool.
Yeah, so little stuff like that's really great. Again, the world's beautiful. Story is very simple. It's kind of like a little fairy tale.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna try not to do as many spoilers with this one because this is actually a good game I recommend.
It's actually Jeff actually wants you to play this one.
Yeah, so this one may not be as long, which is not a bad thing. So yeah, puzzles were pretty cool. Like they're not. None of them are really particularly hard, but you feel satisfied doing them. And I think they made good use of it kind of being VR and you know sometimes to look around, like you moving your head around corners and kind of just looking around the world.
Yeah, that's what I liked a lot. That's what I liked a lot in the demo was like you could find things that you didn't see before if you actually like use the space.
Yeah, and there are a bunch of little collectible things you can get. I don't know once you get them all what happens, but a lot of them a lot more involved. Like there are some that I just happen to move my head and I see the collectible behind, so I'm like, oh, that's neat. Okay, get Quill there. And yeah, Quill's just the best, Darby. Like, there's sometimes when stuff happens or whatever, she puts her hand up for a high five. Of course, the first time I do my hand to try to do a high five, I was like, oh, wait, I can't do that. So I use my controller and do it and do a little high five.
Oh, you actually put your real hand up there?
Yeah, I was like, wait, no, I had to do my controller.
That's cool.
And also, I think it's really cool. Like, I didn't notice at first. I thought I liked it, but I checked it later. When you're actually playing the game, Quill doesn't really talk like she does in some of the other stuff. But she communicates with the player with sign language. Oh. Like actual sign. I don't know.
Like real sign language?
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
I was like, okay, that's a neat little thing. Combat, when you're fighting things, there's not much or enemy variety, but considering how short this game is, that's not an awful thing.
Yeah. To show how much I didn't know, I didn't really even know there actually was combat in this game. I thought it was just puzzle. Are you actually like you're controlling Moss and like doing it like
Quill?
You controlling Quill like a 3D.
It made some things. Yeah, you kind of have to mess with the puzzle and stuff while controlling Quill at the same time and looking where enemies are throughout the world and stuff. It's very satisfying.
Cool. That's a different element I didn't even know was there.
Yeah. So yeah, stories basic like uncle's kidnapped or whatever. You're trying to save him and kind of save your little kingdom or whatever. And the character designs are cool, and it uses like everything from the demo that I can't remember. Do you actually play the demo, or did you just watch? I think you just watched the video. Everything in there was used, but through different points of the story. They just took some stuff and put together to show off the basics of it, which I thought was cool. And they changed some things around. Like the end of the demo, the snake comes at you. That's completely different, and it's great.
Okay.
So I mentioned this to you before this, Darby, but at the end it said, like, ending in the credits start and everything, it said then, like, end of book 1.
Yeah. So
it's like, that means more. I'm like,
so they want more, which is...
So I think this is kind of PlayStation VR's first quote-unquote killer app. I mean, I don't expect many people go buy PSVR, but this is going to be one of the ones like...
At least this is, from what I've heard, this is the one of the first ones that feels like a... I mean, I don't know how it's like a game. I mean, like so many other ones are kind of just like experiences, you know. And
I think it's why this and Super Hot are so highly regarded.
Right. And this is ex Bungie people, if I'm remembering right. And so
I forgot about that until I read some of the
games.
Yeah. It's reviewing very well, and
I'm so happy to see this game actually, you know.
I want you to play it. I want you to borrow my PSVR and play it.
Yeah, I love the visual style of it and the fairy tale look of it, and I know that I've only seen like a little bit of it.
Oh, yeah.
Are the environments, are they kind of varied?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not the longest game, so it may not be as varied as you would potentially hope. Like, you go through the
around
forest.
4-ish hours.
3 to 4 hours. I'm not completely sure. I can't really look at the clock when I'm in.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
all time goes away.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the environments are pretty varied considering the length of it, and I expect it'll be more varied once we get to more of the books.
Yeah.
So
you think this is gonna be like Moss 2, or is it just gonna be like in not very long we're gonna have like an add-on that's book 2?
I'm honestly not sure, because I don't think anyone knew about the whole book 1 thing until this actually came out.
Like, that could mean anything from like
a sequel.
Yeah, a year from now we'll get Moss 2, or 2 years from now we'll get Moss 2. To a few months we're gonna get the book 2. You know, that could mean anything.
I'm hoping I imagine the turnaround time won't be as big, just because I imagine they're going to use the same engine.
Yeah,
like, they're not going to like update things, because I don't think they need to, because like visually speaking, again, it's not, if you just look at it from a video game perspective, not the most like not like the best thing ever, but from a VR standpoint, like the environments look great, and I think it's one of the best looking VR games.
Yeah,
there's like the more stuff going on, and some of the visual stuff is like, wow.
That's all. I hope this sells. I've seen the critical reception.
Well, let me put it this way: about anyone I've seen who has a PSVR has said they're getting this game.
Which is true. But yeah, it's just.
I feel like with PlayStation VR, yes, like the games, if you look at them compared to regular games, don't sell as well for the most part.
Yeah.
But like kind of with the Switch, they have high attach rate.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a good game like
a lot of the people that have VRs are very invested into it.
Now, one, I guess, complaint, potentially, this goes for all VR games at this point, the price doesn't necessarily match how long the game is.
$40?
$30.
$30, okay.
But I kind of understand it, like, VR is
expensive.
Yeah, it's different and all that stuff, so I kind of look at the price a little differently depending on it, but let me put it this way. I think it's good the impatient I also talked about. I'm not satisfied with the impatient at its price. Moss, I'd gladly play.
When you like the game, you want to support more.
So good.
It's one of these, like, maybe, I mean, especially when Moss goes down in price, if it does at some point, you know.
Because PSVR games, I think, go on sale all the time, so maybe a little bit, but
that's awesome.
I think that's all I'll say, because I don't want to spoil up things, but it's so good, Darby.
Well, I have not been able to play much of anything. I will just very quickly say that. Okay. I played the Horizon. I played like the first hour and a half of the Frozen Wilds DLC that I bought months ago, and then have not been able to get around to. Jeez, Jeff, that game is beautiful. I know I've said this over and over again on this podcast, but I'm just reminded so much about just the engine that, or like whatever like Guerrilla made with this game, because Frozen Wilds is set in like farther north than the normal map goes, and it's like all snow, and there's like just downpour of snow coming down. It's just, it feels cold. It feels the environments are just beautiful and different than the normal game. And I've already fought like several new types of like monsters and stuff, robot dinosaurs, like this early into it. And the story is very interesting. I've just gotten the setup of it, but so I don't have much to say really. It's just, it's more Horizon, and it seems like it's
worthy being called an expansion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a lot of times I feel like these DLC things kind of don't really live up to it. But so far, this is building up to be.
Yeah, I think it's good that this is the only expansion we know. It's the only expansion. So that means they're going to put all into it and not focus like, okay, we got something else coming up, so let's save some ideas or something.
Right. Yeah. And this, just looking at the map size, it's like that's a pretty substantial area they added, and it has like all the things you would expect from a new section of the map. Like it has all the bandit camps and all the different like activities and tall necks and all these things that you would want from it.
Oh, yeah. So. Just one more thing real quick.
Yes.
It's kind of VR related from here. I didn't play this. I let my mom play a little more with VR. I let her mess around with something. There's one game she's talked about multiple times that she really liked.
What was that?
Last Guardian VR.
Really?
She loved it.
She liked Trico?
Yeah. She asked me if this was a full game. It's like, yeah, but it's a non-VR game. She almost wanted to buy it.
Wow.
She asked how much it was.
That's kind of hilarious. She
wants to try more VR. So like I told her kind of a little about Moss, and she's interested to try it out at least.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's
so
awesome.
My mom's in for VR.
I love the reality where your mom starts playing games, but she like only plays like the most artsy, like like she plays The Last Guardian, she plays like Journey, she plays like what was the underwater game? It was all Abzu.
Yeah.
I would just love for your mom to become like a indie like snob.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff, you ready for the news?
Yep.
News jingle.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
Let's do it.
Okay, we got a pretty long read right here. Kind of, but it's important. Okay, this comes from Jason Schreier from Kotaku. As pressure from pundits and politicians mounts, the Entertainment Software Rating Board, also known as ESRB, said that it will start adding the in-game purchases label to any game that lets you pay real money for digital goods. The label will apply to bonus levels, skins, surprise items such as item packs, loot boxes, and mystery rewards, music, virtual coins, and other forms of in-game currency, subscriptions, season passes, and upgrades, e.g. to disable ads. And the ESRB said that this morning, said earlier this week in a press release. To Jason talking, you might be thinking, won't this label apply to just about every modern video game? The answer is yes, probably. On a call with reporters this morning, ESRB President Patricia Vance said that any video game with an in-game option to purchase extra content will get the in-game purchases label, whether that content comprises premium currency or a $20 expansion pack. As long as you buy something for a game's menu, the game will get this label. The label is not designed to warn adult gamers that a game might contain microtransactions. It's designed for concerned parents buying games for their kids. Quote from Vance, parents need simple information. We can't overwhelm them with a lot of detail. We have not found that parents are differentiating between these different mechanics, end quote.
So he's basically saying, you parents are dumb. She's saying your parents are dumb.
Pretty much. Vance said that ESRB does not plan to focus specifically on loot boxes, the controversial mechanic that allows players to spend real or in-game money in exchange for recognized awards. Another quote from Vance. I'm sure you're all asking why aren't we doing something more specific to loot boxes. We've done a lot of research over the past several weeks and months, particularly among parents. What we learned is that a large majority of parents don't know what a loot box is. Even those who claim they do don't really understand what a loot box is. So it's very important for us to not harp on loot boxes per se, to make sure that we're capturing loot boxes, but also other in-game transactions. And that's the end.
Okay. So, as we've had this conversation so many times on here, I don't even fully know where I stand on like what needs to be done with microtransactions and any of these in-game
I can tell you this is it.
Purchases. I don't know where we need to go. But no, this is, let me know if your read's any different than mine, but this really feels like excuses. It feels like the ESRB not wanting to take a firm stand, not wanting to do something that would affect the big publishers that are like helping them. Because the ESRB is kind of funded by the video. It's not a government agency. It's funded by the video game industry, and all that means so by a lot of different places. So they don't want to slap these gigantic gambling warnings on Overwatch and on these games that kids are buying and everything. They don't want to do that because that would hurt sales and stuff, and that would hurt the image of this stuff. So it seems very convenient to just say the parents don't understand.
Yeah.
So again, I don't know. I don't really know if we need the labels or whatever, but go ahead.
I don't think a label necessarily hurts. The problem is, like Jason said, the label, the way they're doing it, applies to literally every video game.
It does not.
Released nowadays.
It doesn't actually get to the root of the actual problem.
Yeah, like it's literally like if you can get anything that's not beyond just the base game in any form whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's just
and it's almost like it gets to the point when you're slapping labels on these things or whatever, when it's too general, the label ends up meaning nothing. You know how like we go through the like terms of service things or whatever, and we don't read any of them because it's just there on everything we do and we just blow by it. That's what happens.
I mean, and not necessarily to this extent, but even just your normal ratings, who really reads what those mean anymore.
Right. And when you slap things on there, it just it doesn't it doesn't really do anything, so you really have to the ESRB is smart enough to know what that we're talking about. Like if there is because there are predatory microtransaction systems out there in games, and the ESRB knows what that is. Even if the parents don't, they do. And some of these things, I think it's okay to slap the gambling warning on those or whatever, but you act like we know what we're talking about here. Don't try to pull the parents aren't going to understand, so we don't know, we have to be gentle with this. It seems like excuses to me. Yeah. Now, I mean, again, there's multiple sides of this. Some people say that you can go too far with this to where a game that just has simple loot box stuff or whatever, but it's a kid's game, has a mature rating, and it's no, that doesn't doesn't make sense exactly. So there's some sort of ground to strike here. Obviously, me and you sitting here in my den as college students don't have the answers to what to do, but I don't know. I didn't like the wording of this.
It's a nothing solution. It doesn't change. I mean,
yeah, you had to read all of that, but they basically didn't say anything through all of that, which is kind of frustrating, especially for the people that are actually fighting for this. And boy, do you not want the government to have to step in. You don't want the government to have to, regulate this stuff. So the ESRB needs to figure these things out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's going to be ongoing. We're going to have more stuff.
I'm sure we'll talk about this stuff.
Get so used to saying that. All right, let's move on.
Let's go to some more positive stuff, Darby. We got a couple game announcements.
Ooh, I love game announcements.
Yep. Okay, first one.
Favorite way to start a podcast.
We say that when we're 40 minutes in about. A little less. Okay, so this comes from Seth G. Macy from IGN. The Blackout are... Yeah.
Try again. Redo.
Okay, this comes from Seth G. Macy from IGN. The Blackout Club has been announced. Whatever. The Blackout Club is a cooperative horror game from Question, a studio built by industry veterans who work includes Bioshock 2, Bioshock Infinite, and Dishonored. See, Darby, normally the start of that reads better.
Yeah.
This stuff.
You got it. You're fine.
You're slipping. The game follows a group of teens in a small town who band together after learning they've all been temporarily losing consciousness. None of the adult members of the community will speak to the kids about the incidents, including the disappearance of one of their close friends. Instead, the group launches its own investigation. What they discover is a hostile underworld beneath their town, populated by a clandestine group of adults. Characters are customizable, each with a variety of powers and equipment loadouts. Group members each have their own roles to play in gathering evidence to prove the crimes of the adults, including deploying drones and traps. At the end of each mission, players level up and acquire new abilities to use on future outings. The Blackout Club comes to PC, Xbox One, and PS4 in the first quarter of 2019.
19 games. 219 games for getting this. Obviously, there's not too much to go on here. Just
a little teaser trailer.
Tiny teaser trailer. It's more just the pedigree of the people who are working on it. Bioshock, Dishonored, big name things. Yep. And co-op horror, always cool. So it's definitely one of those things I think we're going to be looking at further.
I imagine this will come up at E3 for more.
Probably.
Yeah. Or bigger trailer, gameplay stuff.
But go watch teaser. Art style looks kind of cool.
Yeah. It's cool. Okay, this comes from No Name, a GameSpot. I literally looked, it says, edited by, and then No Name.
I was so hoping it actually said No Name.
I was hoping to.
And that was a man's name. It was just hi, I'm Mr. Name. No Name.
Yep. Funcom, the Norwegian publisher behind Age of Conan: The Secret World, has announced its next project, Mutant Year Zero: Road to Eden. It's a turn-based strategy game in the style of XCOM, coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One this year. The XCOM comparison only goes so far, though, as Mutant Year Zero has a few unique elements to set apart. For one, your soldiers are mutated anthropomorphized animals, like the duck and boar seen in the cinematic trailer.
Heck yeah.
Humanoid characters can be seen as well, but the publisher calls this a post-human world as the result of a nuclear apocalypse. Mutant Year Zero also adds a real-time stealth mechanic to sneak up on patrolling enemies who move around the map as you do. The game also promises tech trees to upgrade your mutants with new abilities, dynamic environments that hide in the shadows or destroy walls, and plenty of loot to collect. After all, no giant talking ducks is complete without the latest fashions. The project is the debut of the new indie studio Bearded Ladies.
Which, by the way, is a fantastic studio name.
Yes. It was formed by former Hitman developers along with Payday designer Ulf Anderson.
I think this looks really cool.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, XCOM style, but when I was watching the trailer, I was saying it's like a mashup of so many different things.
Yeah.
It gives me Fallout vibes. It's like the Beyond Good and Evil vibes. It obviously XCOM vibes, but then it's like, oh, there's sci-fi stuff. There's like ships coming in. It's just like, it looks like such a like glorious just hodgepodge of a bunch of different things, and I'm into it.
Yeah, I'm into it too.
Yeah.
I always appreciate like when the duck picked up the thing at hand, the pig was like, what you doing? That's like sad, like, oh, food. I like little stuff like that. And yeah, the trailer was cool. It didn't tell us about the XCOM game, and then, we read this and it's all on screen. It looks like XCOM, which is exciting. I'm very interested to see this. Like, told Darby before this, since playing Mario Plus Rabbids, I'm interested in playing another XCOM style game. And I know what you're thinking. Why not just play XCOM? This looks more fun, just the style of it. Like,
also, I'm pretty sure your PC would die.
That too.
Your PC, like...
Wait, it's on PS4, isn't it?
Is it now?
I think it is.
For a long time, at least, it was only on PC. It might be on PS4 now. Yeah. Never mind. No, I mean, XCOM would be awesome. I mean, you'd enjoy that too, but that is like some heavy-duty stuff. Yeah. XCOM gets deep in.
And we mentioned the style of the world. This is more my vibe.
Yeah, I like this. Is it a weird thing to be like, I just really like anthropomorphized like animals like and stuff? Like I like Zootopia, I like Sly Cooper, I like there's just something so like goofy but cool about it.
Are you a furry, Darby?
No, that's the second thing that as soon as I started saying that went into my mind. It's like, no, there's a distinct line. Like I enjoy films and stuff and like games with it.
Okay, so no. You can expect
I mean, like, all due respect to everyone out there, but no.
You expect more news from Mutant Year Zero on this podcast as it comes. Yes, we're definitely interested. Okay, this comes... Okay, well, now we got some funny news. We're out of the game announcements. This comes from Hope Corrigan from IGN. The Yakuza 6, the Song of Life demo, has been removed from the US PlayStation Store after Sega discovered users were able to unlock the full game.
Oh, Sega.
The official Sega Twitter account issued an apology today, or couple days ago, whatever, for having to remove the demo for the latest Yakuza title. The tweet explains that some players were able to use the demo to unlock the full game without paying for the full game, which isn't too surprising given its whopping 36 gigabyte download size. It looks as though the demo is the full game, but they intend to allow players to carry save data over after purchasing the title.
Someone got fired.
Yeah.
How does this happen?
Apparently, like, I think it was on Kind of Funny Games Daily, they were like, man, they must use some weird, like, trick or whatever, and then the you're wrong thing, they're like, no, it's actually very easy.
They literally just kind of put the whole game out there. Yeah.
It's very easy to do.
I just don't know how you do that. I mean, I think from what I heard, like, they put, it was the full download size and stuff because they wanted you to be able to carry over your save, which I'm almost certain there's been other demos that didn't have the whole game and you were still able to do that.
No,
I don't
plenty of times.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was just something like, obviously game development's hard and everything's weird, and maybe they decided that too late. It was just the way they decided it was weird. But I don't know, it's kind of crazy. And apparently this is not the first time this has happened with Sega games. Like, this has happened a few other times with Sega games.
Yeah.
Is it weird? I kind of feel like, I was talking about this with Jacob the other day. When it comes to Yakuza 6, like, it just seems weird. It seems like there's been lots of just bad news after each other. Like, the delay, and then I feel like there was just some other, like, murmurs about it, and then this happening. Not that it would really impact it that much, but and it's also coming out right along God of War. Yeah. I just don't see good things for this release.
I think what may also hurt it is Yakuza as a franchise getting more popular in the US.
Yeah.
But that was because of Zero and Kiwami. Kiwami 2 is coming out. and then people might want to go in order and not jump all the way to 6.
We're getting to an oversaturation point when it comes to Yakuza in the West.
And the fact that we're getting these all out of order.
Yeah.
As far as as people are really getting into it, so.
And at least Jacob said that Yakuza 6, while it's still reviewed good in Japan, apparently it's not quite as good as the rest of them. It's probably one of the lower reviewed ones. And if you're looking at it, you might be like, I could play this one that's apparently not as good, or I could keep going with Kiwami and go to Kiwami 2 and stuff. So, yeah.
I can't remember when Kiwami 2 is supposed to come out.
I don't know either.
Yeah. Imagine some people are waiting for that one.
Yeah, probably. Interesting. I mean, I'm wondering if one of me and you at some point in our lives are going to get into the Yakuza series. There's so many of them. But...
Oh, wait. I got Kiwami for Christmas.
Oh, did you? I didn't even know that.
My mom got it for me. She's like, this looks like something you're like.
Might as well try it.
Yeah, try it at some point.
Jacob would be sitting here right now saying, definitely try it, John.
Yeah.
You don't want to
get to it at some point.
You don't want to let Jacob down.
This is true. Okay, the next story comes Shibana Irif from IGN. Sony Interactive Entertainment has announced its intention to restructure at the start of April to focus on creating attractive and powerful first-party titles. In a press release, the company explained the restructure will allow it to remain competitive and deliver on its commitment to make PlayStation the best place to play. And this announcement comes after the news that Horizon Zero Dawn has sold over 7.6 million copies and is the most successful new first-party franchise to launch on the PS4.
Whoa.
Yeah. I know the.
Are you done?
Yeah, I know the restructuring news is just kind of PR fluff, whatever, man, I mean much, but I was already going to have the Horizon thing in there, so I felt they kind of fit together.
No, that's the big. I mean, honestly, the Horizon thing is more of news to me than the restructuring. This seems like, wait, you weren't already focusing on first party titles? That's kind of Sony's MO anyway.
Following Microsoft's lead. They also announced
it's PR fluff. It means nothing. The bigger news is 7.6 million copies. That's awesome because I think the last we heard, if maybe I just missed it, but the last I heard about was 4 million back last year sometime.
I think it's been a while.
And it was a while ago when that.
I think the most we got to were its NPD numbers were it's in the top 10.
Yeah, but this is getting not Uncharted 4 numbers, but this is getting closer to Uncharted numbers than I don't even know what else to compare it to. Whatever the lower rung of Sony. This is getting more towards the higher rung of Sony's first party titles.
To Uncharted God of War tier?
Yeah, it's under, but it's around that tier.
Actually, I don't know how much God of War is.
And that spells good because Horizon 2, I could see going past that. Jumping
you thought they were promoting Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, they're going to be all in on it, and I'm going to be all in on it. Okay. So
I will get on this game at some point.
Need to, man. You waited long enough that I finally got around to the DLC, so you can't borrow it from me right now. But soon you can borrow it. I have plenty other stuff to play. Yeah.
I look at it this way. I have, especially at this point, the zeitgeist for it is done, obviously. Right. I got to the sequel. Horizon 2.
Oh, you have until then. Yeah. You don't have to rush to do it.
Yeah.
Except for you'll disappoint me if you don't play it soon. But that's the only thing.
Man, I gotta wait on you anyway. You'll take 6 months.
Probably. 6 months from now, I'll be the Frozen Wilds, the second hour of Frozen Wilds is really good.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
We have another article from Shibana Arif from IGN. Activision has announced plans to release remasters of its past titles this year, lending weight to the recent rumors of a Spyro the Dragon Trilogy remaster. The company has released its annual investors report, which includes the intention to mine the Activision IP library as part of its plans for the second half of 2018. The report reads, "We expect to release World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth in our latest Call of Duty game in the second half of 2018. In addition, we expect to deliver ongoing content for our various franchises, including expansion packs for Hearthstone and Destiny 2, in-game events for Overwatch, map packs for Call of Duty World War 2, as well as release the remastered version of the titles from our library of IP. Spyro's happening, Darby.
Spyro's happening. If you didn't already know from last week, it's happening.
And we're supposed to be announced this month if, their plans didn't, if the rumors completely right and things didn't change.
Yeah. I expect it. I expect it. Very imminent Spyro
why not the way Crash sold?
Yeah, no, why not? Release the dragon.
Release Crash Team Racing.
The dragon. That too.
I just want another good kart racer, Darby. That's all I want. Mainly just have Mario Kart.
It needs something other than Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Mario Kart will still probably be the best, but
Yeah.
I mean, but this is cool.
Yeah.
More remasters. I mean, like, this is mostly about Spyro, but it could be about other, like, just going into...
I imagine they're playing on more than just Spyro.
I mean, no, it's going to be more than Spyro, but, like, Spyro is just the imminent one, but,
Yep.
I don't know off the top of my head all the different things that could beat the Activision owns at this point, because Activision owns most things.
Overwatch remastered.
Yeah. Makes total
Milk
sense.
that money.
Someone would buy it.
Yeah. Olivia. Okay, moving on. Okay, this is quick. Detroit become human. Yeah, I don't know why I put Beyond Human on here. I think Beyond Two Souls.
Detroit Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah, Detroit Become Human has a release date. It's May 25th, and they showed some stuff. Apparently, Clancy Brown's in this game.
No. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
I don't know his role, but he's in there.
Okay. Cool.
There's screens and stuff of him. So
the cover's a little weird. It's like just zoom in of dude's face. But,
yeah.
I mean, I don't think it was as bad as some people went around saying.
So like with his face kind of fragmenting part, like he's an android.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a whatever cover, but
it's whatever. They're just gonna have like the androids on there anyway, so whatever.
Yeah.
At least this makes it at least stand somewhat more apart.
I'm interested to see. I don't think anything will cover, but obviously we didn't really talk about it in here. But there's the allegations and stuff from the at Quantum Dream. I mean, you can go look more into it. I mean, there's there's like some workplace, like it wasn't like sexual assault and stuff. It was just kind of like workplace inappropriateness.
Yeah,
if that, I guess that's about right. The allegations, and then Quantum Dream kind of just like vehemently denied it to the point where it's like, have you actually looked into this yet? It was weird, and so some people are kind of not wanting to get Detroit because of that. It'll be interesting to see where that goes. Like if Detroit comes out and the reviews are insanely high, then that controversy could come out more. If it's not, if it's just a mediocre game, that would probably die out more. I don't know. Well, but
I don't know.
Where are you with Detroit? Are you buying Detroit?
Thinking on for just
or waiting on the reviews?
Yeah, probably for this one because these games can go either way. Unfortunately, the way it is. Especially after impatient and just with everything else.
Impatient, soiled video games in general for Jeff.
Front runner for my biggest disappointment of the year, Darby.
It's early, but yeah.
But yeah, I was just see reviews for this and all that kind of stuff, and I gotta see where this controversy stuff goes. Like how serious it is. Apparently, there's some court stuff, but may not be completely related where they found no wrongdoing.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely none of this is for sure. It was like, I mean, regardless of what happened, Quantum Dream responded in a bad way. It was like that's not the way you're supposed to respond, but it might be a lot of nothing.
We'll see.
We're not making decisions on that kind of thing here because there's no one knows.
Yeah.
So
we will see. Okay, the next story comes from Nathan Grayson from Kotaku. After a week of teasing, Blizzard has confirmed that Overwatch's newest hero, how do you pronounce it?
Apparently it's Brigitte.
Brigitte,
I think. It looks like Bridget, but apparently in...
Brigitte Lindholm, daughter of bearded turret lover Torbjorn. Brigitte is a support hero, because we need more support heroes.
There have been a lot of support heroes.
I think most of the ones added are support heroes.
I think there was 3 support heroes so far. And like 2 attack, I think.
And 1 tank.
And 1 tank, no defense.
Yeah, no defense.
But the thing is, before we go on, I have seen people complain like, why aren't there defense characters, whatever. Defense characters don't exist.
Defense characters are miscellaneous.
That's what that category means. That category means we don't want to overload this game with attack and tank. Like we want to have 4 neat little categories. They're basically just we don't have a category for this type or whatever. Because Symmetra is basically a defense character. If you look, like she's more defense than she is support. Like I think these things they're not very strict. They don't really matter that much, Even Brigitte's like a lot tank. I mean, she does support, but she's almost more tank than anything else. But anyway.
She's a support hero who uses a rocket flail to deal damage, sometimes to multiple enemies at once. Her passive ability, Inspire, heals allies over time, and she can supplement that by dropping repair packs to heal wounded allies, or, if they're already topped off, provide them with armor. She can also deploy a barrier shield that absorbs damage and bash people with it. Lastly, her ult, Rally, gives her team a big armor boost and increases her movement speed so she can charge into the fray and frack everybody real good.
Thwack. She seems really cool. It's like a miniature Reinhardt that heals.
So, again, like we mentioned before, that's perfect for me.
Yeah, it's definitely a Jeff character. It's really cool. Like, she uses her flail, so she like kind of swings in a full circle around her and hits people that way. And the fact that when she heals people, like, she can heal past your level. Like, she if you're full, she'll give you like more armor.
So how broken is she right now?
Probably very broken. I'd have to ask Alex and Olivia, but on the PTR right now, all the new characters are broken at first in the PTR.
Now, I guess I don't know the timeline for stuff. I don't know if it happened with the last Overwatch character. How quickly will this go into the Overwatch League? Like, can this character be used?
Alex said it takes around 3 weeks usually.
Okay,
that's what my roommate said in passing.
I have no idea if there was a set thing for that or what.
I don't think it's set. I think it's just it usually takes around. I mean,
I guess it's
basically whenever they feel like she's ready to go. I guess.
I guess it's like whenever she's available for everyone, and then the Overwatch people who are actually playing the game feel like using her.
Yeah, I would be interested. Obviously, neither of us pay attention to the Overwatch League at all, but I would be interested. Does she immediately start getting played in the Overwatch League, or are they like way too ingrained in the characters they're doing and they wouldn't have had enough time? Like, I wonder, like, how long does it take before the pros in that level start using her?
I imagine when they're practicing, they'll try it and just mess around with her.
Yeah,
because she's really good.
I wonder if you'd be willing to use it on an actual game when the game's on the line.
I feel like it obviously depends on the people, but they probably wait until they practice with her a lot. With different team compositions.
Yeah, I'm sure there might be one team that's just ballsy enough to be like, we're going to do it.
Yeah, screw it. Okay, Darby, we have the final news story. We have our PlayStation Plus games.
We gotta decide who wins between PlayStation Plus and Xbox.
We know who won. Okay, PlayStation Plus game. Bloodborne for PS4.
Oh, boy!
Ratchet & Clank for PS4.
Woo!
And obviously, it's the newest remake.
Yeah, but the 2016. Yeah.
Legend of Cave for PS3. Mighty Number 9 for the PS3.
I don't think I even saw that was there. Yeah. Great, cool.
We have it, Darby. Claire Extended Cut. PS Vita and Crossfire PS4. So that's a horror thing, right?
Yeah, I'd imagine. Cool.
Bombing Busters for PS Vita and Crossfire PS4. And that is not all. Because with this list of games, Sony has announced starting next year on March 8th, 2019, PlayStation Plus monthly games line will focus on PS4 titles and no longer include PS3 and Vita titles. This won't affect any games you already downloaded or will download prior to March 8th, 2019.
Oh my god, Jeff.
Apparently I saw somewhere, I don't think it was in here, that they're still just going to stick with 2 PS4 games, though. So I guess you're technically getting less, because normally there's 2 PS4 games, but you get more because cross-buy.
Yeah. Voice in if you feel different, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't really care. I don't think I've ever used my PS3 downloads that I've gotten from PlayStation Plus like a single time. And my PS3 rots in the closet somewhere. Yeah. I don't really care. This was going to happen eventually, and it's a full calendar year from now. I mean, like, we're
No. I mean, we're going to Sony for getting people and they're like, hey, you have a year of this.
Yeah, we're going to be getting close to PS5 time by the time this stops. So, I don't really think it's that big of a deal.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Yeah. Okay, so now we got to pick between them. We know PS Plus wins, but for the recap, games for gold was Trials of the Blood Dragon, Far Cry DLC for Xbox One, Super Hard for Xbox One, Brave, yes, that Brave from Xbox One and 360, and Quantum Conundrum for Xbox One and 360. Bloodborne or Ratchet & Clank alone win. I mean, it's just one of those games.
What the rest of, yeah, if it was just... You're right. Yeah, PlayStation.
Both of them together,
This is
the best,
probably
PS
the best
Plus month in forever.
It might be the best month ever. I mean, obviously, I don't have the full list with me, but it's at least.
Okay, let me put it this way: these are arguably the 2 best games that PS4 games you have in PS Plus since they started doing PS4 games on this, and you're getting them both at once.
These are 2 of the best PS4 exclusives out there. I mean, they're both amazing games for completely different reasons. Yeah. But obviously I'm so excited that more people will get to play Ratchet & Clank.
And we mentioned this before. Does this mean Bloodborne 2 and Ratchet & Clank 2?
I mean, there's going to be some... From Software obviously working on something. They teased the thing.
Rumor is Bloodborne 2, but people who know more about From
With
Software.
how much Bloodborne sold, I see no way that there's not going to be a Bloodborne 2.
Yeah. And it's kind of more of a thing with that teaser Bloodborne 2, or was that just something else?
Yeah, I can even if that teaser's not Bloodborne 2, it's still coming, really. Yeah. And I can see with Insomniac, some team in Insomniac working on Ratchet and Clank for sure.
That'll probably be their next game after Spider-Man, unless they try to do something that's not PlayStation exclusive. Yeah. Again, like Sunset Overdrive. Sunset Overdrive 2.
It wasn't that long ago they were talking on a stream and the guy said that it's like, yeah, we'd like to, but someone need to fund it. And that wasn't even that long. So if there is a Sunset Overdrive 2, it has not been worked on for very long at all.
I know.
So
can still get announced.
Okay.
I can dream. I haven't finished it, but it's good. It's great.
Yeah, we know it's good. So congratulations.
Insomniac, good developer. So once I finish, I guess just real quick and then we'll move on. With Insomniac, I guess I never really played their games before Ratchet and Clank one. That plays Sunset Overdrive.
You didn't play any of the older Ratchet and Clank.
And with Spider-Man, once I get done with those, I think I could I'll definitely put Insomniac up on my developer tier list for its favorites.
Yeah.
That'd be
they're one of the best for sure.
I mean, yeah.
They always know very rarely, I can't even think of a game that they've dropped the ball with. I mean, even Song of the Deep was apparently really good. Not many people played it, I don't think, but
Okay, Derek, let's get to the topic.
All right, Jeff. Main topic. This little guy is a year old. It's kind of crazy.
That one isn't a year old, though.
This particular one, I mean, he could have been sitting in a warehouse since March.
Switch is sitting in a warehouse. This is the beginning.
He just they're like, oh, one fell down the crack. Oh no!
Give this one to Darby.
Yep, give it to him. It's growing mold and shit. It's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember building up to the launch of Switch for so long when it was the NX.
Yeah.
And we were didn't know anything about it. It's just so weird to me that it's already been a year. So Jeff, how do you want to do this?
I guess we can build up a little bit to the launch of it and just talk about general launch stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So building up to the launch of the Switch, obviously we have the very first time we saw anything was Karen.
Yes.
Right. The Karen.
I just love how they did that though. It's people were getting impatient, where's the Switch stuff? And then they just throw a tweet, it's hey, tomorrow in X.
I love Nintendo always does that. There's you're not expecting it, boom, direct, boom, this, boom, that. Yeah, it's
and then 12 hours later, if that, they drop the trailer showing the Switch, and then everyone's like,
And the crazy thing is even back then, from there, obviously from the moment they showed that, and even before that, when the whole console handheld hybrid thing was a rumor for a long time before that. We had a feeling it was going to be something like this for a long time. But even after that trailer, there was a lot of people, myself included, I would argue most people were very skeptical about the Switch. I even wrote something that I shared the other week from a year ago on the Daily Gamecock about my skepticism of it. And I think everyone was rightfully kind of skeptical of it. The Wii U obviously sold 13 million lifetime, which is pathetic.
Yeah.
The whole last year of the Wii U's life, Nintendo basically was radio silent. They basically weren't a company that was making games, or at least in any
I think we got just Pokken and Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Was Star Fox that year?
Actually, it might have been, and Paper Mario.
But
so we got some, but obviously those are smaller games. Then.
Nothing for how big Nintendo's supposed to be. One of the big platforms there. And leading up to it, there was lots of questions. It's I remember, if you remember back then, it was battery life was a huge one. It was just the actual process of it doing that. It was how powerful is this going to be? It's not going to be that powerful. They're going to be screwed. They're not going to have third parties. All these things, it made sense.
Yeah.
That it spelled the doom of the Switch leading up to it. I know you never succumbed to the doubt, Jeff. You were a hype man all the way through.
I was. I had a reason for it. It wasn't it's Nintendo, so I'm hype.
Yeah. I understand that. But it came out.
Yep.
It finally did. Or first we had that January Direct thing, which also added on.
Made people's worries worse.
It made mine worse. I mean, like, because that was an objectively bad conference.
Yeah.
It was not good. It was, I don't know, like, just Nintendo of America needs to handle all the marketing, at least in America.
I think in hindsight, the announcements they made weren't as bad as people thought at the time.
No. I mean, the fact that was the first look at Zelda, right? And
well, not the first look at Mario.
Our first look at Mario.
Announcement of Zelda stage, Xenoblade, and all that kind of stuff. And then, we got all those games this year, and they did add more stuff throughout the year.
Yeah, it did. But just, that launch lineup for a system that it felt like everything was riding on, felt very lacking besides Zelda.
We had, we have Zelda, we had Shovel Knight, we had Bomberman.
And Snipper Clips.
1-2 Switch, Darby.
And 1-2 Switch. That was it, right? I remember it being like 5. It was like 5 or
Fast
6.
RMX Racing or whatever.
Okay.
Which is apparently a very good racing.
Okay. But not that big. It was it was around it was literally a handful. I remember when you had the Switch, when you bought the Switch at first, I remember seeing the eShop with 5 tiles on it, and it was completely empty. And it's like,
I just got Zelda and Snipper Clips.
It's so weird to think. Now it has the opposite problem where it's starting to get filled with shovelware, and that's a whole nother topic for another day.
Yeah.
But then it finally comes out. Zelda reviews go up. One of the best games of all time. Immediately, an instant classic. What is the Metacritic like? What it ended up
97.
at? 97. I'm sure, right at the time, it was it was hovering even higher and stuff at the time.
98 at some point.
Yeah, probably.
Not the best reviewing Zelda game.
What is the best?
I think it's Ocarina of Time in 98.
Okay.
But less reviews at the time. Yeah. And all that kind of stuff.
I mean, fair enough. They're both.
I mean, at the time, Ocarina of Time, we don't know about it, but that was mind-blowing.
Earth-shattering, yes. It makes sense. I would put them both very, very high echelon. But that was the one thing I honestly feel like, even with all the success Switch has, I mean, this is not it's kind of a no-duh statement, but Switch is one of the saving graces for Zelda is one of the saving graces for the Switch, and it's one of the reasons why it is where it is now.
Yeah. That's why they delayed the Zelda launch and made it for the Switch,
which was a very good idea. That they would have been. I really think we would be living in a very different world if Zelda didn't launch with it.
Yeah, and I honestly think if for some reason they released Zelda first, they probably would have just delayed the Switch or they would have put Mario there, wait till Mario was ready.
Yeah. They
had to have one of those, at least out of the first year lineup, to launch with it.
Yeah. And
I know people say Nintendo's dumb, they're not that dumb. They need to have one of those games.
No, and that was Zelda was so good, it just got to the point where people are like, yeah, there's not a whole lot to play on the Switch here besides Zelda, but God, Zelda. And people were buying Switches for Zelda, and I know you played all the different games or whatever, but a lot of people didn't, and it was a Zelda machine for a while, and that was fine because of just how good.
Yeah, it was a Zelda machine for a lot of people until Mario Kart 8 even come out, but that was a multiplayer game and a port, so some people that wasn't good enough, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But
and when was Mario Kart 8?
That was the end of April.
Okay. So, the Switch came out this week, right? It was around
about
the first
2
week of
months.
March. Yeah.
But then not long after Mario Kart, we had E3 where they announced some more stuff saying, hey, Mario's coming out in October.
Mm.
And then I have here, Kirby was announced, Yoshi was announced, Metroid 4 announced, Pokemon announced.
Yeah, Pokemon.
Mario plus Rabbids was announced. And and saying, hey, it's coming out in 2 months.
Yeah, which was awesome. Obviously, we knew about it for a long time beforehand.
And then, even though people didn't believe it, they were like, hey, Xenoblade's still coming out this year.
And it did. No, that E3 showing was killer. Yeah. I mean, it was one of the condensed direct thing, but it was just boom, 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 going one into the next. Obviously, it's going to be weird to think whenever we do have Metroid Prime 4, it's going to be weird to think how early it was announced with just a logo.
That and Pokemon are just one of those things. They felt like they have to announce something because just Nintendo's general thing this year with the Switch is really we don't want to show things too early and we want to have something to show, but Metroid, it's like, okay, we got to show one really big game people have, right? And Pokemon was literally just something, I imagine, just the way it looked thrown together because of the Direct beforehand.
I feel like if it was any normal year, Nintendo would not have announced those two games this early, but it was the first year of the Switch.
Yeah.
With this new console, they had to get people on. I think that's the only reason why. It's a very un-Nintendo move to announce games that early.
Yeah. They, like...
And with that little to
yeah,
show.
it's generally more... Not, on Nintendo, but we got some during the Wii U, like Tokyo Mirage Session, when we just knew it was a crossover between SMT and Fire and Breath of the Wild was announced really early. In comparison.
But Breath of the Wild was also, again, like kind of a desperation throw.
Then. Oh, no, that's right. I mean, like, it's very un-Nintendo when things are going well for them. Yeah, it's usually when they're desperate or they feel like, okay, we're kind of in this spot, so let's just do this. But I feel like it's going to be more of the thing. Yeah, they are going to try to keep things as
tight, short amount of
not as close to Mario plus Rabbids. Well, that's a Ubisoft title anyway, but still, yeah.
And it's a Ubisoft title, so it leaked 3 months early or something like that. So it's usually how those things.
Darby, it launched before the January event.
And the leak, you mean?
We started hearing about it before the January.
Yeah, that's right.
Around there.
Yeah, we were hearing rumblings about that.
We thought it was going to be announced there.
Right. Yeah. Ubisoft is bad about leaks.
But they're making really good games right now.
They're amazing. I mean, I don't really care, but they just have a problem.
I mean, as we talked about before, the rumors and all that stuff, I think, held to Mario plus Rabbids.
Yeah, the fact that people already kind of had some time to marinate on it and time to say bad things about it before they even ever saw it.
Yeah.
That kind of helped because then when it came out and it's like, holy crap, this actually looks good.
Yeah, people were able to get the whole just it being Rabbids out of their system.
Right. And if that had been... But, and I do think this is a better reality for them, but I kind of wish I could have seen the reaction of people, and myself included, if we had no clue that was coming.
Like, the Rabbids, if I remember right, the Rabbids came out, and then the question mark, people were like, be like, what?
What? That would have been insane.
It's like, what is this? It's so dumb. And then people are like, this actually looks really good at the same time. Yeah.
And see the dude crying.
Yeah.
That sold everyone. That was just so good.
Yeah. Such a good game.
And it came out not too long after, if we want to move past E3, and it was good.
Yeah.
It's like
85 on Metacritic, Darby.
It won the best strategy game, right?
Yeah, it won more partly because it was just the one more people played.
Right, but still, it was
a great game in its own right. Honestly, I loved it.
Like, this could have, if you had asked us, in 2016 or 20, God, we would never have said that. We'd be like, this is just a terrible.
It's one of those few games I don't have sales data for, but as far as I know, it's sold well.
Everything I've heard, it was just building and building and building.
I mean,
it kind of had a long
shocked if we don't get a sequel for this game
because
it's one of those perfect first games for a series because it's really good, but you see obvious rooms for improvement. Mm-hmm. There's stuff in there that can be improved to make it a better game.
Yeah, they can build on those systems for sure. Later on.
I think Nintendo Nintendo would be dumb not to make a sequel for this game.
They're making a sequel for that. There's no way they are not.
Yeah.
Damn, what move? So moving on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Before I tell you, ARMS came out.
Oh yeah. Their ARMS and Splatoon was that was kind of a boom.
June. Yeah. ARMS came out the week of E3, and then Splatoon the next month.
Right.
ARMS selling pretty well, reviewing okay-ish
compared to what ARMS could have been, and compared to ARMS was the first one where I was like, this is kind of seeming like weird Nintendo. It just, I was not convinced in ARMS, and a lot of people weren't. And I mean, we never got it. I don't think it wasn't like Splatoon. It wasn't like that kind of a hit.
No, I mean, we enjoyed the test punch.
But it was fun enough, and it was especially a summer game on Nintendo's first year of the Switch. And compared to what that game could have been, I think it worked out well. And a sequel, I think, could...
Yeah, okay, to say this real quick. All sales data we save, if we mention any sales data for any of these games, it's the latest we have is for December 31st, 2017.
Okay.
That's the last, officially updated. ARMS sold over 1.5 million.
Yeah.
As of the end of the year.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It
sold well.
Just the concept of ARMS, new IP, and it's just so bizarre and off the wall, and has nothing Nintendo about it. It's not like it has a face that you recognize that's drawing you, and it's just this weird Nintendo thing. And yeah, for it to sell that much, a lot of that is probably not having too many games out at the time. But ARMS served its purpose for that first summer, I think. Mm-hmm. And then Splatoon was obviously just like the perfected Splatoon.
Yeah.
And almost 5 million.
Well, it's over 5 million now.
It's over 5 million.
And it surpassed Splatoon 1 sales already.
Yeah.
So
Splatoon 2 was killing it.
Yeah, and it just got a new stage this past week.
So there's still...
I haven't hopped in a while because I've just got a bunch of other games to play. I definitely want to go back at some point. Mess around with it.
Splatoon is just such a fun concept and a just like inherently
really
fun
good
game.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think a lot of the people who talk down on Splatoon are people who haven't played Splatoon. I mean, it's just, I don't know how you can play that and not have
I remember when it was announced, and I'm not saying I'm not saying you one of the people. I remember like a lot of people like were talking down and like, this looks dumb, this is gonna fail. And I was like, this looks fun though. I can see this succeeding because there's the colorful characters and all that kind of stuff, and as unique like Nintendo like gameplay, like kind of weird thing.
I mean, that was a much more cynical time of Nintendo where it was like they were not knocking it out of the park with everything, and it was one of those things that was like concept wise seems awesome, but I was like, this is gonna tank. I mean, I wouldn't have expected Splatoon to sell as much as it did. Like back in the day when did Splatoon 1 come out? Was that 2015?
It might have.
It was sometime around then.
I think it was. 2015.
Okay, yeah. I mean, 2015 Nintendo. I mean, it's understandable to be that way.
Yeah.
And it was like Nintendo's doing a shooter ish game. It's like, what is this going to be? And of course, that's Nintendo's take on a shooter. It's like the most bizarre, like crazy.
And become a giant hit in Japan.
Yeah, and in America, it does pretty well too. So
yeah, I think I saw like some predicted like split between numbers, and Japan's actually more than the U.S. Like sales were right there
for
Splatoon 2.
Yeah, I would imagine. So just with
it's kind of weird seeing that.
I mean, because Japan's a lot smaller, but like they're very into Splatoon.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Splatoon's getting a sequel at some point in time.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Inkling for Smash, please.
Do we have anything between Timeline then Game Awards?
We got a couple games. We got Pokken. There's more of a straightforward couple characters. I think it's sold. I think it maybe have sold more than the original Pokken. Not surprising considering when it came out on the Wii U life cycle or close to it. Sold pretty well.
Weird. I don't hear much about Pokken. So.
Yeah, reviewed pretty well. Fire Emblem Warriors. Yeah.
Did you play much of it?
I didn't even buy it.
Oh, you didn't buy it? Okay. I thought you had it pre-ordered or something.
Oh, no.
You got it, but
I was interested when it was announced because, like, I've said multiple times, I enjoy Warriors games every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fun, turn your brain off games and Fire Emblem stuff, but they just did everything wrong with this game.
Yeah. That's what it is.
And, before Game Awards started.
Well, I guess, October is between Game Awards. Freaking Super Mario Odyssey, Jeff.
Yep.
They did 3D Mario, and this is like the spiritual successor to Mario 64 it's that we always wanted. We went through so many other like Mario iterations that were good and everything, but there was people, especially us, that grew up playing that game as it's one of my earliest gaming memories. Mm-hmm. God, I wanted a game like this, and it won't stop. Like, I'm still playing this game. I'm 50 hours in, and I have like half the moons, right?
Yeah.
Around.
Yeah, more than half, because you gotta go to the shops to get up to the $9.99 thing at a certain point.
I still have a lot of moons to go, at least. Like, and I still like pop in there, and like it's still just, even though I finished the main story, I'm going back through all these areas. Everything is still just new and amazing, and just like, it's gonna be one of my favorite gaming memories of all time, was going through those worlds the first time, and just every single place you go, there's something new and crazy.
Yep. Discovering
new enemies to possess, and be like, oh, holy crap, they did that, or like, oh, can I do this? And it's like you go through and you can.
Yep.
The game is just filled with memories.
Yeah, it's so good.
And the fact that that game had lots of things to live up to from other Mario games, and just what they were touting with the 3D Mario thing, and Zelda.
Yeah.
The fact that it was following up Zelda, like what most people, I feel like, are saying is the best Zelda of all time. It's pretty crazy. It was like Mario had to be on the same level as that, and it sure as hell was.
Well, Metacritic thinks so. Also 97.
Yep. They're both the exact same, 97. Yep. Yeah. Seems right to me.
Yeah. So good, right? Yeah, it's one of those things that makes you think, where do they go from here from 3D Mario?
I don't know. I'm not envious of it because...
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's not Nintendo style with Mario to, like, stay in the same place for too long.
No. I mean, yeah. Like, I want them to keep on doing new stuff with Mario.
Yeah, I do too.
The 3D Marios.
I do too.
So it may not be as good as, like, newer ones may not be as good as older ones in some cases, but...
Yeah.
I mean, at the least, they're very good.
Mario's never bad. Yeah. Never bad. And 9.7 million units as of December 31st.
It's sold more since then.
Oh, it's sold way more. We're in March right now.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's over 10 million.
Right, over 10 million at this point.
Fastest selling Mario game. It's not like the top selling, obviously, but
yeah,
it is counting 2D Mario as far as fastest selling.
Okay,
and
that's actually pretty big. It's pretty huge.
Yeah, it's not going to eclipse.
No,
because yes, like the Wii 2D Mario games were just kept on selling and selling, that kind of thing. But it is pretty close to being the best selling 3D Mario. I think it's like at 12 million. I expected to pass that.
That's crazy.
I think it was like Mario. Yeah, I think it was Mario 64 or something.
I would imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
It's amazing, and it's also crazy to think.
And Zelda's supposed to be potentially about to become the best-selling Zelda, between the Wii U one and the Switch one. Like, wow. Not counting like for individual like releases, not counting like
collections and stuff.
Not counting like the remasters and stuff. Like,
right, yeah.
They're not combining Ocarina of Time and Ocarina of Time 3D, for example.
Yeah, but it's at like. At what it's at now, it's about to eclipse it. That seems low.
I think people overestimate how much Zelda.
They do.
I mean, yeah, it's 6.7 million for the Switch, but it's like at least over a million, 2 million or something for the
Wii U.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. But what I was gonna say is, I think we all knew. Like, it's not surprising, but it still kind of is. Like, we knew it was gonna happen, but it's still weird to see it that. Mario obviously came out in October. Zelda came out in last March. And Mario that quickly is like 5 million more than, or 4 or 5 million more. Like, than,
about 2 million.
I mean, if you think, it's at least like substantially more than Breath of the Wild.
Well, but yeah, the amount of time.
Yeah.
Well, at least at this time, they're probably pretty close if you add in the Wii U sales for the...
That is true. I always forget about the Wii U sales. Yeah.
I mean, Mario still sold. For its short amount of time.
Yeah, so for just like a fraction of the time. Yeah. And obviously, Game Awards, Nintendo runs away. Legend of Zelda, number 1 game of the year.
Mario Kart 8 won stuff. Mario Plus Rabbids won stuff. Mario in general won stuff. And
Bayonetta. Announced through the Game Awards. Bayonetta 3 is coming. Game that never should have been able to happen with how poorly Bayonetta 2 did.
Shadow dropped the Zelda DLC.
Yeah.
And just Game Awards in general, Zelda winning across the board for a lot of most places getting awards, and then other Nintendo exclusives doing well in their own right in their own categories.
Right. Yeah.
So... And then around the time we got Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Which Xenoblade selling over 1 million copies is impressive.
Fastest selling Xeno title, not just Xenoblade, just Xeno.
Well, and I've seen people who you wouldn't really even expect them to be a Xenoblade type fan talking about Xenoblade. Like people who don't even play like JRPG and stuff, which kind of floors me because Xenoblade seems like the most JRPG there is. Like it has all the things I hate about JRPGs in them, so that kind of surprises me, but it's impressive.
Yeah, it's about to be the best selling Xeno title apparently.
Is it the best Xenoblade game that you've played?
I guess out of the ones I played substantially, like I can't count the original Xenoblade. I played a good bit of it, but not nearly as much as this and X. I definitely say it's better than X.
So yes,
both. Yeah. Okay. So we getting that Xenoblade sequel.
Probably.
We're getting more Xenoblade. I'm so happy.
I kind of expected Xenoblade to crash. That's what surprised me. I mean, like just it coming out so late in the year.
I was a little definitely worried about it, but obviously it's a niche title, so it doesn't have to sell as much. As much as like a big game it is, it doesn't have the budget obviously as these other games.
Right. I think it was one of those things I saw a lot of people have been like, I like playing these like fantasy RPGs, and I beat Zelda months ago, and it's like I want something on the Switch, so they found that. So and people had beat Mario by that point. What else do we have there? We're almost caught up.
Yeah. Well, we got one more game, like Nintendo game, at least that I could remember, that released technically in the first year. Bayonetta 1 and 2 collection.
Ah, okay.
Because technically in the first year.
Yeah, it was in the first year of the Switch. It did.
Yep. 89 Metacritic for the collection. Makes sense. It's like the average of the two that I saw for Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2. So
seems to be holding up well. Everyone's enjoying it.
Yep, everyone's loving it. You see like
people who have never played Bayonetta before getting into Bayonetta.
I'm interested to see how this sells.
I am too. Very interested in that. Also interested to see where Bayonetta 3 is going to fall release-wise after this. Yeah. I am definitely not going to be surprised. And somewhat expected Bayonetta, this collection selling better than Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U. Yeah.
Because it wasn't completely dead at that time, but
it was dying. Yeah. Other big thing is we go in there just very quickly. One of the biggest surprises I think for the Switch this year was the third parties. There was actually and at least like where it came from. Like we all thought and rightfully thought, and it's kind of true, that Nintendo was going to have a tough time with third parties just because the Switch is so much different design-wise.
Yeah, so much less powerful than the other ones, and they have to worry about the handheld.
You have to be able to play it in all these different ways and stuff. So it's, you have to make an effort. It's not just not that it's not an effort otherwise, but you can't, it's more difficult to port those things. But Bethesda is kind of like one of the strongest ones that went all in on the Switch.
Yeah.
With Skyrim, Doom, Wolfenstein.
We're getting Wolfenstein 2 at some point this year.
Yeah. All for the Switch, and everyone loved Skyrim from what I saw, going back through Skyrim on the Switch.
Some people playing Skyrim for the first time, somehow.
Yeah. Somehow. And it's kind of crazy. In a way it's not surprising because Bethesda is just usually one of the most gutsy developers out there, going for VR before anyone else does, and then going for the Switch before anyone else does. But it's awesome. I really think that was one of many things that led to the Switch having such a killer year, was having Bethesda's support behind them.
We didn't throw this in the news, but Bethesda announced, their E3 conference time. It's like June 10th, wherever that Sunday is before E3 at 9:30 Eastern time.
Normal time,
their time, but so now they definitely got more ways to fill up that, show by porting more stuff to Switch, doing more Switch stuff, doing more VR stuff. Bethesda is getting out there that, where other third-party, companies are not. And it seems to be working out for them.
And I think because of Bethesda's example, we're going to see more of them. We're going to see more developers, especially now that the Switch is at how many? 14 million?
Well,
as of December, so more than that. Yeah. I think they're predicted. Then they predicted 17 million by the anniversary of the Switch.
All right. Well, I don't know if it was the anniversary or the end of the fiscal year, which would be after this month.
Okay, but at least around this time, they're predicting around 17 million.
I think it's safe to say there.
Yeah, they're gonna hit, and they're predicting 20 million for this year. Wasn't this something crazy like that? Until the fiscal year, the next fiscal year or whatever. Crazy. I don't know if they'll make that, but that's crazy. So we're going to see more developers come on to this and start porting. You already saw Rockstar with LA Noire. GTA 5's coming. I think they're going to port GTA 5 to the Switch.
Well, I mean, we're not developers, but it's a PS3. I don't see why it wouldn't run. It might do a little worse than thing, but I don't know why it can't run on there. And that will sell. Portable GTA, even I might jump on.
You could put GTA in the microwave and it would sell. I mean, GTA is gonna sell no matter what.
Yeah.
And I was I wanted to jump to indies. The Switch. One thing that I don't know if you saw coming, but I kind of didn't. That Nintendo became the home for indies that the Vita always was, and it worked out to a point where it was the different Vita was just a home for indies because it was portable and everything, and you could get noticed because there's not really much else there and everything. Nintendo, it's a little harder to survive off of that, but Nintendo made indies a central pillar of the Switch. Yeah. And that combined with their first party and with everything else, it works.
Yeah. And I think something they said recently, if I remember right, and again, this is one of those things that could be just pure fluff, but I kind of believe them with the way they're doing indies. They said they don't look at they look at indies and like other third parties generally the same, like as far as being a big part of, what makes the Switch successful.
Yeah.
They're kind of something like that.
And just with the quantity of like amazing indie games on there, and how the indie games are like selling better than they ever.
And how much Nintendo's pushing them, giving them their own directs, and even the January direct, we were kind of thought that was weird at the time. Them putting Celeste in there, out of all indie games, which was a good move because the game's amazing.
Yes, I think at this point, just in general, indie games are kind of as important as getting the third party late ports and everything else. I mean, indie games are getting huge to that point.
Selling very well. Obviously, at this point, indies will definitely want to be on the Switch, and Nintendo's doing really it's definitely helping the Switch for Nintendo to support them like they are. So why stop?
No, and lots of indie games selling better on the Switch than they are on the PS4 when they're cross-platform.
Yep,
lots of that going on, and I mean, was Snake Pass was that an indie game or was that okay? Snake Pass and freaking Celeste, and there's just been so many.
Super Meat Boy, I don't think it's sold the best yet, but it's the fastest selling. Sold the fastest on the Switch.
Yeah.
According to them. So we don't
we
have to go into this, but again, with Nintendo doing collaborations with third parties like with Mario Plus Rabbids and the Warrior games, and even going back to the Wii U with Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and with Metroid Prime 4, the rumors.
Yeah, with Bandai making that. And I expect that to be a trend that's going to continue. Nintendo starting to play nice with other developers more than they did before.
I definitely believe that, and we mentioned it before with the whole Metroid Bandai Namco, because they let Bandai Namco work on Smash.
Yeah, right. Right, and that's like their most beloved thing. Before we get out of here...
We might have a little more than that, Darby. You'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I just, But one thing everything I think me and you are obviously from this episode and all the episodes prior, we are huge fans of the Switch. And this has been such an unbelievable year, and it's kind of, not that I was not interested in games, but I've kind of had a revitalized interest in all of this because of the Switch games, because of Zelda and Mario, and just being able to play in a new way on this thing. It's just so awesome.
Yeah.
But it is missing things.
Yes.
The Switch was definitely put out too fast. I'm glad it was because I got to play it, but there's definitely a lot of things missing. We still don't have any virtual console stuff, and the online system still hasn't launched, and what's there is kind of crap. With the apps that you have to use and everything like that. Yeah. That needs to be fixed. And the problem is there's certain things that Nintendo does differently and better than everyone else. Like a lot of things. But then there's also things that I just do not have faith in Nintendo for. And online stuff is one of those.
Yeah.
Especially in comparison to PlayStation, where it just works.
Mm-hmm.
And even come September when they're supposed to announce that stuff, I do not have faith in it being something that's going to work that well. But obviously that doesn't matter enough to me to I have the thing. I love it. But it could do nothing but help them to get those things right.
Indeed. Hopefully them pushing it back will actually be good for it.
Hopefully. Also, other big missing thing, where the hell is Smash, Jeff? We need some Smash port or a new Smash, some sort of Smash.
Yep. Okay, Dari. Just in a general sense, looking to the future a little bit. How do you think this upcoming year will compare to this year?
Worse, but that's not a bad thing. That's not that sounds.
Yeah.
It sounds worse than it really is.
I think people need to temper expectations a little bit. We're not going to get something in the level of Zelda or Mario.
Well, you got to think 2017 was a year and a half in the works for Nintendo. Nintendo was radio silent for all of 2016 or whatever it was because they were gearing up to have new console, Splatoon, Zelda, Mario, all of this stuff because they had to.
Yeah.
The Switch was an unproven concept that everything was riding on for Nintendo. They needed that. Yeah. And Mario was probably done for a long time before it was released because it just needed to come out when it did.
I think they said it
was
done.
Same thing with Zelda. Yeah. Zelda was probably done for a while. They showed it so long before I imagine it had been done for a while. Yeah. And usually companies don't do that. But that's part of why 2017 was such a blowout that it was. 2018, I think, is going to be a different type of good. I think we're going to have a lot more third-party support. I think we're going to see a lot more of those, like, we're going to keep seeing those ports and everything. And I think we're going to start seeing new games made for the Switch and that kind of thing. And we're going to get the Kirby game, Yoshi, a new Fire Emblem game, in whatever shape that takes. I don't know about Pokemon or Metroid. Like, I could see, like, Metroid at the end of the year or something, maybe. But, like, none of these are going to be Mario and Zelda. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that's necessarily a terrible thing. I think that's fine.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think we'll have more third parties and indies and stuff since now people are more accustomed to the Switch and more people release stuff there. Yeah, so I'll fill stuff. I'm sure Nintendo will announce more ports. I'm sure they'll announce some more games, like original first party content, and maybe some more collaborations at E3 or even earlier than that for the rest of the year, because right now, I mean, if you just take what we know now and think of that as the rest of the year, yeah, we don't really have much of anything, but we don't know anything about May onwards.
Right. I mean, it was kind of, it was the same thing last year. It was like, okay, we have, like, Splatoon and ARMS, what's after that, or whatever. But then, like, as the time came, we learned. And it's just, we're accustomed to Sony, who's been talking about the same games for threes now, or whatever. It's just Nintendo operates in a different way.
Yeah.
And,
that's fine. Yeah. I already got one final thing. I don't know if you noticed, but there was no game.
We didn't do it. I just thought about that.
That was on purpose.
Okay.
I meant this to happen. Supposed to be now.
It's all in Jeff's plan.
According to K Costume. Now, Darby, obviously this can be related to the Switch.
Okay.
There's no losing today.
I can't lose?
Not today, anyway.
Okay.
This is the Nintendo Switch prediction game.
Okay.
And we're only going to look at just 2018. We're not just not going to look in the...
So I could lose later on. I'm not losing.
Yeah, I'm going to keep this at the top so we can keep track of this.
Okay.
And we're going to do a little more stakes with this.
Okay.
If you win, I don't know, buy a milkshake or something.
Okay.
And if you lose, nothing. I'm not going to make you agree.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Okay, so the normal, I got 7 things here. And you just answer them. We'll see if you get it right later on.
All right.
We might have to wait till going into next year.
So it's a long game. It's a long con game.
Yep. Or the stuff will get confirmed way ahead of time depending on how things go.
Okay.
It just depends. Number 1. Will Animal Crossing Switch come out this year? If so, what month?
Oh, yikes. Like, so do I get like part of this right?
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. Yikes. Yes. And
I guess just to make this clear, it's not going to be what it's announced for. It's just if it comes out. When it actually comes out.
Wait, what?
I'm just making it clear. I guess it's an obvious thing. Not what it's announced for. It gets announced at E3 for September. We don't count it until it actually comes out.
It comes out, yeah. Yes. I'm thinking fall. I'm like between anywhere from September to November. I'm trying to think of what else could be coming out there, but we don't really know. Fire Emblem's going to be at some point, potentially Metroid. I'm going to go November. It's probably not going to happen.
Okay, next question.
Okay.
You mentioned Fire Emblem, Darby.
I did.
Will Fire Emblem Switch have 2 versions like Fates?
No.
Okay. Some of these I made that are probably going to be...
I see it like it could.
Yeah.
But I think chances are no.
Yeah. Will we get Metroid Prime 4 or Pokemon Switch this year?
Either one?
Yeah, if we get one of them.
Yes.
Okay.
I think Metroid, but I'm just saying yes in general. Yeah.
Okay. We think we're getting Super Smash Brothers this year.
Right.
Probably. How many new characters will we get? And if you don't think it's coming out this year, if you don't think it's coming out this year, just say 0.
Okay. Yeah. So I get I guess if it's a new Smash Bros, it's probably not coming out. But
that's the thing. If it's a brand new Smash Bros, probably not coming out this year. So you think that.
But if it was a new Smash Bros coming out this year, would it just be how many characters are new? Like, not counting the ones that are taken away, would it just be like how many of these characters have not been in the Smash Bros before?
Yes.
Okay. I expect that it's going to be a port, and if it's coming out this year, it's going to be a port.
Yeah, but my mindset was if it's a brand new, we're not getting it this year.
yeah. It's probably true. I don't want to take too long, so I don't want to think too hard about the different characters. But like, obviously, Inkling and freaking. Oh no, I'm on the spot here, so don't have time to think. Jeff put me on the spot.
That's what I do.
Yes, I think it's coming out port. I'm between like 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think one, Darby.
I'll go 3. They already had a lot of characters.
Yeah. And I'm just basically I'm not counting like if Ice Climbers come back. I'm not counting that as a new character.
Fair enough. But if Snake comes back somehow, I'm getting that. Like that counts. I'm negotiating for Snake to count because that would be so weird.
I'll allow it.
All right.
You have to remind me of that potentially. Okay. Will the Switch pass 30 million total sold by the end of this year?
It's at 14 now.
Yeah.
They're predicting 20. What would that put it at?
Yeah, you gotta figure that stuff. I can't influence you, Darby.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it will. Not too much more than that, though. I think that's about what it'll hit.
Will we see Virtual Console this year? Will we see something else? Or will we see nothing that resembles it whatsoever?
Something else. It's not going to be the normal Virtual Console. I think it's going to somehow tie into like the Netflix style thing or whatever with that, but it's not going to be. Okay. I can't say exactly.
Okay, to make it clear, if something else is, at least the way I have it on here, something that relates to older games with kind of its own name.
Yeah. Like I could definitely see.
So, I'm not counting like they just released old games on there with no title.
Yeah. Okay. Could easily see it not being called Virtual Console.
Okay.
Just to differentiate itself from. Yeah.
Making clear we have our definitions for the stuff.
Yes. Do whatever you need to do.
Last one.
Okay.
Where we get a big new IP from Nintendo for the Switch. And by big, I mean kind of like Splatoon-ish levels or them promoting it that way. Or in Splatoon-ish type thing. Not like 1-2 Switch or Snipper Clips or something.
Right. I could easily see it being no, but you know what, Jeff? I'm putting the hype on the line. I
appreciate the hype.
I am going with the hype, yes.
Yes. And like normal this stuff, you usually gotta get 4 of these.
Okay.
So we could find out way ahead of time.
Good. Well,
this will be a long-term one.
We'll see how good I am at predicting the Nintendos.
Potentially in 2019.
Yeah, it could be a very long time from now when we see it.
Figure do something different.
We might be dead. We might be dead, you know?
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see how you would answer all those questions, but we don't have time. You can tell me later.
Okay.
Or you can put down your answers off camera and just for the funsies, you know.
I'm just looking for them. For the most part, it'd probably be the same.
Because we're the same person with most things. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Nerds of Large Gaming Podcast. Make sure to go to our YouTube channel, check out all of our other things. We did last week. We did a thing with Jacob, our friend Jacob Hamill, about video game music, where we actually like sampled some of the songs we like in video game soundtracks and actually played them. I thought it was a cool segment, but because of college, it took me a little long to get it up. So you might not have seen it yet. Definitely go check that out. I have it sectioned off as I have that whole segment as its own YouTube video. So if you want to just watch that, obviously, because the news is old at this point. But check that out. We're hopefully gonna have Black Panther soon if we go see it this week.
Hype.
Yeah. Then we should just do the spoiler cast that night. We should just go home and immediately record it. So maybe Black Panther soon. And look forward to it.
Mm-hmm. Might have some Let's Play stuff soon, maybe.
Hopefully, yeah. Might be going to do super hot. Bye, you guys.
Bye.